First of all, I will say thank you very much, Senior Counsel Gitobi Manyara, for standing with me, standing with the Communist Party, and standing with innocent, patriotic Kenyans whose only desire is a better Kenya. It's important also to say clearly that the arrest that took place, I was hounded like a terrorist inside the Qatar Airlines when I was meant to travel to Beijing. The police officers, the supposed police officers that arrested me were actually people that were not, I could not be able to identify, but they dragged me into a cell in JKIA and then later on booked me at the police station at JKIA and later brought me at Central Police Station and confiscated all my travel documents. It's important to note that the police has been on my case harassing me, and today, when we were just at the Central Police Station, another delegation of the security forces are in my house breaking into it. We are now being told to go to the regional office to try and discuss an act of illegality. We want to say that the Communist Party of Kenya, the patriotic Kenyans and myself will not give up to this state intimidation. After all, this state is spending so much resources chasing after revolutionaries and activists while leaving criminals to run away without facing justice. We will make sure that President William Samoei Ruto is held personally responsible for my harassment. We will ensure that President William Samoei Ruto and his regime are held accountable for all the crimes that he has committed in this Kenya. We will never forsake the comrades that have put up their lives and sacrificed it all to make sure that we enjoy this democratic space. We say today we have even more convinced that Kenya will not be the same again. We know there are other comrades of ours that are still being abducted, including Bob Njagi and Kitengela 3, and these comrades, we will want the state to produce them dead or alive. This is important for us, and we ask the Kenyan people that season 2 of the protest is coming that will sweep off this regime and these corrupt collaborators to make sure that Kenya is free from the shackles of neocolonialism, Kenya is free from the shackles of imperialism, and this caretaker committee on behalf of the international capital, particularly President William Samoei Ruto, who now is a puppet of the West, will be defeated by the wrath of the people.
Viva comrades, viva!
Viva!
Viva comrades, viva!
Viva!
All right, so on Saturday night, Mr. Omole was part of a delegation comprising of 6 Kenyans from the Communist Party of Kenya who had been invited to a meeting, a plenary meeting of the Chinese Communist Party in China. They boarded the plane, and before takeoff, he was forcefully removed from the plane. He wasn't told the reason. His passport, his travel documents, and all personal items on him were taken, and he was locked up at the JKIA police station. Thereafter, upon requests from the family, friends, and his lawyers, he was brought to Central Police Station, locked up for about 1 hour, and then released and ordered to report this morning at 9:30. This morning, promptly at 9:30, we were here. We met the DCIO. He confirms they have no case against him. They have no complaint against him. All they are aware of is that there has been a stop order issued by the Immigration Department. He doesn't have the particulars of the order, stopping Mr. Omole from leaving the country. So now we are heading to the regional office where we've been directed to go and find the details of the stop order that had been issued. But as we were preparing to leave the DCIO's office, word reached us that there are security people breaking into his house, his residential house. So we are heading there all I would like to say, as somebody who has been a victim of these abductions, is to tell whoever is behind this, whether it is President Moi, Ruto, Kibaki, all of them, they have tried. These terror tactics have been tried countless times. They have never worked. They will not work in Kenya, and they have never worked anywhere in the world. So today it's Mr. Omole, tomorrow it will be someone else. We've seen abductions become part and parcel of the Kenyan governance system, but these terror tactics have to stop. If they don't stop, those behind them will be held to account, from the Inspector General of Police all the way down. They will be held to account. There is the rule of law now, not only in Kenya under the new 2010 Constitution, but also at the international level. We have the International Criminal Court, which has jurisdiction to try these thugs who want to send the country back to the dark old days of the KANU era. It won't work. Kwa hivyo nitamuuliza Bwana Omole aseme machache, alafu tuende tukaone ni kitu gani kinaendelea kwake kwa nyumba.
Let me say that it's very unfortunate that my comrade and all our comrades, Buka was treated the way he was treated. I know Buka very well. I don't think he feels nice about this. I know whatever he was going to do was something good for this country. The president went to China, no one stopped him. So he should allow any other person to go to China. So no one has got what's called monopoly of freedom in this country. The only person who gives the freedom to Kenyans is the Constitution of Kenya. And I want to tell Mr. President, you have a governance manual in the 3 books. 1, the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Does it allow you to stop Buka from going to Beijing? We have laws of Kenya made in Parliament. Is there any law you can quote that stops Buka from going to Beijing? We have government policies. These are the only governance manual. Don't run this country with anything. This country should not be run on guesswork, on everybody's ego and everybody's theory. We sat as a country and passed a constitution which all laws must comply with, all policies must comply with. Which law policy did you use to stop Buka from going to Beijing? And I want to tell Mr. President, we feared until one person lost life. When the first bullet hit a comrade dead, now we are not afraid because that's when it ended. So we don't care how many people are going to kill. We don't care how many people arrest them, abduct them. I'm telling you, the problem you are solving is not a criminal problem. You are not solving a treasonous problem. You are solving a problem that if you wake up and put your eyes into one, leadership. You are not supposed to lead Kenya because you don't qualify for it, you don't care about it, you don't keep the law, you don't keep the constitution. So leadership is a problem. The second problem is accountability. The third problem is what I would call corruption. These ones, if you solve them, if corruption was to end in Kenya today, if the issue of accountability on how our monies are being used was going to end today, and if you don't solve the economic problem that is keeping Kenyans sleeping hungry, if you don't solve those problems, you'll arrest many people forever. Even your next successor will arrest more. The problem is economic. People are hungry. They cannot eat. All Kenyans are dead when I see them walking. Someone is walking with 10 loans, with 50 fulizas, with 10 hustlers. Somebody cannot pay school fees. Somebody cannot pay house rent. Someone cannot put food on the table. That is the problem. The problem is not us. Put your eyes on what makes you president. Solve this economic problem by stopping corruption. Not that Kenya is poor. We are not asking you to take money from Sugoi and give us. We are simply asking you to take the money you are collecting from us and use that money fairly to solve our problem. Arresting Buka will not solve your problem. Breaking down his house won't solve your problem. Arresting other comrades, killing them won't solve your problem. The problem is one, which you have created with your bottom-up economic model, is poverty. The poverty index is increasing. Corruption index is going up. Education index is going down. Development index is going down. Employment index is going down. Unemployment index is going up. Those are the problems you should face, not anybody else. And I want to finish by saying the following, that lead by example. The policemen who arrested Buka and mistreated them, They are supposed to maintain law and order. If they break law and order, they are leading us to start breaking the law. Mr. President, you are breaking the law and order. IG acting in contempt of court, contempt of the Constitution. If your government are leading us into impunity, then why are you telling us that we must go and follow the law? For us, the law is only for the people who are weak, who are poor, like us. But the rich and the powerful, the law is not meant for them. Follow by example, because that's the only way we are going to solve this matter. Because if all Kenyans start breaking the law, how will we have a country? We will have a country of lawlessness. Don't lead us into lawlessness and impunity. Thank you.